Hello, welcome back to our little farm here. I'm Chrissy. This is my before video. So we're coming up to garden planning and garden seed starting and all of these things. And I just wanted to shoot a really short little video of everything before. So this is at the back of our house. And the space over here, which I've talked about before, these are naughty chookies. Naughty chookies. They're supposed to be over there with the others. But anyway, so this area over here where the chickens are is going to be, for the most part, our spring garden. They've been in there over the winter, still there now for a little bit. And we deep bedded it with wood chips. And so from that end there all the way down, I don't know how far, definitely from where the chook pen is, the chicken tractor, down at least until about here, this tree here, where I am. And then beyond that, we might not, I don't think we'll cultivate that this year. But so all of this area here, it's just a blank slate. So we're literally starting from scratch. So I am excited about it. I'm a little bit overwhelmed because there's just, it is a blank slate. We're starting with nothing. Hey, that's a bit cheeky. No. So my goal this week is to be planning this. We've been talking about it obviously all winter. We've been thinking about what we want to put where and how we're going to do it. But I'm actually this week putting pen to paper to write out the plan. And with one of my sons has built a little seed starting shelf for me. So those seeds will be going in very soon inside. And then this backyard, where you can see there's this little rough looking backyard where we've just had the pups, really. At night time we let them in here. But I've got some grand visions for this. So there'll be a big sort of like square market garden style thing here with rows of garden beds, raised beds, using pretty much a back to Eden style garden. And then I've just been thinking about and getting really excited about this space, which is just a sludgy mess right now because we've had so much rain. But I have ideas. And I think over here where this is the back of the shop, and it's just there's a couple of crepe myrtles here, which are all dead looking now, and then there's more crepe myrtles along here. We've got all sorts of repairs we're doing along this. This is a enclosed, it was a veranda or like a porch, and they've closed it in, but we're in the midst of doing repairs on that. But down this end, I'm thinking right along this, there's a brick walkway, I'll show you. So right now it's just barren and bare. There's nothing here except it's very sludgy. Look at that mess. And the chickens. So this little concrete walkway here, the footpath goes down the other side of those crepe myrtles. I'm thinking about a herb garden here so that I can just pop out through the mudroom and grab some herbs. And maybe here, so looking out from the house out towards the larger veggie garden, some raised beds, 2, maybe 3, and honestly maybe even just 1 this first season. A raised bed that's more of a kitchen garden, just greens, leafy greens maybe, some flowers, maybe some more herbs, things that I can just run out and grab without having to go all the way out, not that it's a terribly long way, but all the way out to harvest from the big garden. So right now, and then ultimately, and I think this is going to take a lot of time, we've got a partial fence. It goes from the back fence down here, and then it stops here. There at some point was a gate in there, I think, but it's all kind of broken down. So I'm thinking a little bed along that fence, growing up some vertical gardens along that fence. And so the raised beds here in front of the house, and this little backyard lined with some more fruit trees. So we have the orchard, which is out at the front of the property, but some more fruit trees, I think, lining this. One of the things we have to try and overcome here on this property, well, not just this property, but living here in Texas, is the heat in the middle of summer. And one of the ways we combated that with our gardens back in Australia was to, I guess, create a little microclimate, and by planting trees with the vegetables so that they had shade, and it just increased their ability to cope during those really hot months. So I'm thinking some fruit trees along here, and maybe a bed along there eventually. I'd love to have, this is, what do you call it? Chinese tallow and a wisteria kind of all tangled up there, which I love wisteria flowers. My granny used to have a wisteria climbing up over a trellis on her property at the little farmhouse that I spent a lot of time at as a child. So I have a bit of a romantic connection there to wisterias, and so I think I'll keep it, but it'd be nice to make a nice sitting area out here. So I might need, we do have this beautiful big old oak here. We could maybe put some chairs and tables out under there, but I'm thinking maybe a bench seat or two under the fruit trees might be nice. So we have started a garden from scratch before in Queensland, but it was on a suburban block. So it was a pretty big suburban block. It was in a little country town, and we had quite a bit of space, but it was just a bare dirt when we got there, and we had lots of fun doing that garden, but it wasn't quite as big of a scale as what we're looking at here. So for that reason, I'm thinking, okay, girl, you really need to up your game, because I'm not really, I have never, although I've been gardening for years, I've never really done much strategic planning of where I plant things. I'm kind of more of a start the seeds. I used to grow all the seeds under our house. We had an old Queenslander style house, and I'd start all the seeds, and then when they got big enough, I would wander out into the garden one day with them and just put them wherever I felt like, wherever looked good, whatever moved me at the time. So no real planning. I had some plans, I guess, loose plans in our mind of, okay, we wanted to layer things. We had, you know, ground cover plants, and then medium level and canopy and emergent layers, so that we could maximize space. But it was still, yeah, just whatever I felt like at the time. So I'm trying to be a lot more organized this time and plan more, and taking the time to be much more organized, which is not really always my forte. So I'm stretching myself, but that is the plan for the next little bit, to get that all sorted. The other part of the garden plan that I just want to mention really quickly